Now the equal function is basically used to check the equality of two strings. Okay, this function is used to check whether two strings are equal or not without considering the case. This is the very important thing here. Without considering the case. Okay, so without considering the case means it will take the capital A and small a as a different letter. Okay, so this function will check the equality of the two strings are equal or not. Okay, that means the equality of the two strings without considering the case. It will take the uppercase and the lowercase as a different letter. Okay, so it will treat it as a different string. That you have to keep in mind. Okay, now it returns true. It returns true if both the strings are equal. Okay, otherwise it returns false. Okay, so therefore as it is reading the value in the true and false, so we know that true and false means the Boolean value. So we write here return type is Boolean. Okay, now I am putting the syntax over here. So the syntax is your Boolean variable is equal to string 1 dot equals string 2. Okay, for example, suppose I take Boolean z equals to first string is apple dot equals banana. Okay, now you can see here that apple and banana are both different words. Okay, so it will give you false. Another example, Boolean x equal to, suppose I take cat dot equals, and again the string 2 I take the same cat in the way I have written the first string. Okay, so here we will get the output as a true because both the words are same and the cases are also same. Okay, now I show the third example, Boolean r equals to, suppose I write here mat dot equals, and in uppercase I write here mat, the same word but in uppercase, all the letters in the capital letter. So here you will not get the true, although in our human being sense we see that both the words are same, but the computer according to this function will treat both the words as a different words and it will give you the output as false. So they will get the output as a false. Okay, I think this function is clear to you. Okay, so this function is basically used to checking the equality of the strings. Okay, the strings can't be compared with the equal to sign, Okay, it gives the wrong output. So we will use the, whenever comparing the string of the equality only, so we will use the equals. Okay, and similar to this, we are having the next function, that is your equals ignore case. Now I am moving to the next function. All of you write it down, these things in your notebook. Okay, and if you got any kind of confusion in any of the function, please feel free to call me. Okay, so the next function is equals ignore case. Okay, there is a specific way of writing this particular function. In equals ignore case, I and case C is capital, ignore I and C of the case word is capital, and all are written all together. There will be no space in between the words. Okay, so this function is also similar to the equals function, but only one difference is there, that it does not consider the case, means it takes both the upper and the lower case of the same letter as a same. It does not take it as a different. Okay, so this function is used to check the equality of two strings by ignoring the cases, cases means that is both upper and lower case as a same, both upper and lower case letter of the same alphabet, okay, the same alphabet as a same. So this function is used to check the equality of the two strings by ignoring the cases, that is both upper and lower case letter of the same alphabet as same. Okay, now the return type of this function will be boolean, as it gives true when they are equal, okay, otherwise false. Okay. It gives true when they are equal, otherwise false. Okay, so the return type is same as a boolean, as we were having the equal function. So return type is boolean. Okay, so we write here the syntax is boolean z equals to string 1 dot equals ignore case string 2. Okay, for example, So here in place of boolean z, you write it as a boolean variable. Okay, this z is a variable, so I'm writing a boolean variable. For example, boolean z equals to, I take mat as the previous example, dot equals ignore case, okay. And here I take as a capital mat. Okay. Now as you have seen in the previous, in the equals function, that this value mat as a lowercase and uppercase, they get differ there, but here we will get the output as a true. Okay. Another example, boolean n equals to computer dot equals ignore case, and here I take, suppose the subject as a maths. Okay, so as you all know that the computer maths are both the different words. Okay, so this will give you the output as false. I hope this function is clear to you. Okay, please note it down. Next, I will go to the function as a compare to and trim, then we will go to the ends with and starts with. Okay. Compare to. Okay, this compare to, the T is capital, rest are in a small letter. Okay, so we have dealt with the equality of the strings, but till now we have not dealt with the greater or less. Okay, means which string is bigger and which string is smaller. We have not come to that particular function. Okay, so compare to function is that particular function which tells us that which string is bigger, which string is smaller, and it also tells the equality, means it works in all the situations. Okay, so it will tell which string is the bigger string, which is the smallest string, or whether they are both equal or not. Okay, so in those situations we use the compare to function. Now how the compare to function works? Okay, please understand this thing very carefully. It works as a lexigraphically. Lexigraphically terms means that it compares the characters ASCII value of one string to the character ASCII value of another string. Okay. Suppose I take an example, then it will be more clear to you. Suppose like example, I take apple. Okay, one string and another string as a banana. Okay, now if I'm writing both the string is an uppercase, okay, all the letters in the uppercase. Now what is the ASCII value of apple? A. ASCII value of A, it is 65. Okay, and what is the ASCII value of banana? B, it is 66. Now we will find the difference of the ASCII value. Okay, so 65 minus 66, okay, that gives you minus 1. Is it clear to you? Now 65 minus 66 is minus 1. Okay, now as we get the minus 1, so that negative shows that the first string is smaller than the second string. Means the first string we have taken it as a apple, so apple is smaller than the banana. Okay, So in this way we do the comparison in this compare to function, and this particular technique of comparison of finding the difference of the ASCII values is called as a lexicographical technique. Okay. This function is used to compare two strings whether they are equal bigger or smaller between the strings. Okay. It finds the difference of ASCII codes of the characters of both strings. Okay. This process is known as lexigraphically. Okay. Somewhere you will find LE and somewhere you will find LA, both are right. Okay, so this is called as a lexigraphically. Okay, or lexographic or lexographic. This process is called lexigraphically or lexographic analysis. Okay. Now, if the difference is negative, it shows first string is smaller than second. If the difference is positive, it shows first string is bigger than second. Okay. And if the difference is 0, okay, if we get 0 as a number difference, then it shows both strings are equal. Okay, it shows both strings are equal. Okay, so as you can see, we are getting the difference value as a negative, positive or 0. That means it is an integer. So the return type of this function is a int. The return type of this function is int. Okay, let's write it down, then I will go to the syntax and the example of this particular function. Okay, now I am writing the syntax. Okay, So the syntax is int variable is equal to string 1 dot compare to string 2. Okay, for example, int z equals to, suppose I take the first string as an apple dot compare to banana. Okay, then it gives, what is the difference of ASCII? So the difference of ASCII is your difference of ASCII. So A we are having 65, B we are having 66. So 65 minus 66 is your -1. So the output you will get it here as a -1. This will be your output. Okay. Now another example, int z equals to, suppose I take it here as a Adam dot compare to Aman. Okay. Now see, first letter of both the strings are same. So where it is finding the difference? It is finding the difference here D, and here we are having M. So you will get the difference of ASCII of D. Okay. So what is the ASCII of D? If A is 65, 66 is B, 67 is your C, 68 is D. Okay, and M. Okay, E is your 69, F is your 70, G is your 71, H is your 72. Okay, and what will be the value of M? M we will get it as a, how much? I think it will come as a 80. Okay, so I find the ASCII of M. Capital M is given as a 77. Okay, near about 77. Okay, so 68 minus 77. Okay, that is equal to how much? 68 minus 77. Okay, we will get it as a 5. 77 minus 68. Okay, so this is your 9. Okay, so what will minus 9? Okay, so minus sign shows that the first string is smaller, so this is smaller than the second string. Okay, so it shows that first string is smaller. Okay, so this is the compare to function. Next we move to the another function. Okay, and that function is your compare to ignore case.